One of the best young offensive linemen in the NFL is going to be left guard Zabel of the Seattle Seahawks. This guy has been really impressive on tape this season. Now, he has had losing snaps. He does have to develop. But generally speaking, this guy looks really, really good. And today we're going to watch some of the tape against the Atlanta Falcons. I want to show you guys just some of the really nice plays that this guy had on tape. Plays like this one, where between him and Charles Cross, you're going to have a double team block on the 3 technique. And look at the movement that they're going to generate. This is 2nd and 14. And look at that movement right there between the two guys. And the processing on this one's absolutely perfect. And it's going to get overlooked a little bit, but I want you guys to think about this play right here. This is going to be a power-based run concept. You're going to get Bradford to pull out here. You're going to get the double team block on the 3 technique. And this double team block has to be read up to the backside linebacker. Now, if the linebacker goes over the top, it's going to be the left tackle that has to pick him up. If the linebacker comes underneath, it'll be the guard who has to get off this block and essentially pick this guy up. So between Charles Cross as well as Zable, not only do they have to generate movement, but they have to read that linebacker. They have to pick him up as he's flowing over the top here. And they do a phenomenal job recognizing at the exact moment that they have to pick this linebacker up. And of course, Zable, Charles Cross both kind of understand. And the running back does a great job just kind of cutting it back underneath. And at the same time, you're going to see Zable, and I'm going to just go ahead and back this up here. You're also going to see Zable do a really nice job on the defensive tackle. And although he's not able to turn him and flip the hips, he does a great job walling it off. And of course, you also see Zable kind of turns back over to the running back as the running back bends this right back off the butt of the guard here. This block right here is absolutely impressive. But an even better block, and a block that I think is a lot harder to get to, is this one here. You have a really nice linebacker here in 55 of the Atlanta Falcons. And look at the angle that Zable takes. I mean, that is incredible right there. Now, the play does not work. You only pick up about 2 yards. Now, the play does not end up working. The center here does not do a good enough job on number 94 here. 94 is going to essentially beat the center. Really nice job to be able to kind of keep him off him. And he's going to just chase this down the line of scrimmage. And he blows the play up. But to me, Zable, and then the angle he takes on number 55. I mean, he beats this guy so quickly, 55 ends up trying to go to the backside because he ends up getting reached by the left guard. Now, this should not happen. As soon as that ball gets snapped, that fullback kind of goes into motion. 55 has to get over the top, and you see Zable do a phenomenal job. And he ends up putting this guy into the ground. This block right here, and I know the play only picks up a yard, but there'll be a moment as the season continues for the Seahawks where this block right here is going to create a huge cutback lane for a Charbonnet or Walker or one of these other running backs. To me, I absolutely love this right here. It's so hard to be able to reach the way he does here. Let's go ahead, and I want to show you guys a couple more snaps as a run blocker specifically. And then we'll talk about his pass pro as well, because there's some really nice things he does in pass pro in terms of the hands. But first, I want you guys to check this play out right here. This is such a great job by both the left guard and the left tackle. Very difficult block here. Number 93, really good run defender. But Zable is going to do a great job with the help from Cross to be able to turn this guy outwards. And you're going to get 27 yards on 1st and 5. Let's break this play down here a little bit. You're going to basically have a counter run. The play is going to end up hitting to the weak side. So Zable has to be able to seal number 93 out this way. And of course, the double team by Charles Cross is phenomenal. You know what's crazy about Charles Cross is the development that he's taking from year 1 to 2 to where he's kind of at now. It's really, really impressive. This is one of the league's best left tackles. Now, he'll have to clean some things up, which obviously, he's developing in the right way, so I think he will. But stuff like this, really, really impressive. The double team, the amount he helps Zable on this one. Look at this. Just a really, really good job right there. And then Zable, phenomenal job with the footwork. Not only are you getting the double team help here, but you recognize that you need to be able to turn your hips, turn those feet, a way in which number 93 gets out of that gap. And look at the lane that's ultimately created here. Just a really good job by Zable to seal number 93 to the inside. Charles Cross gets up to the linebacker. That's an impressive play right there. And this one pops for 27 yards. I think the Seattle Seahawks have one of the best young offensive lines, when you're considering the age of like the average guy up there. And I know it's not perfect. You have a mixture of Oluwatimi kind of coming in at center. Sundale obviously was the starting center earlier on this season. And there's still some inconsistencies at the right guard position. But keep in mind, these are all really, really young football players. They're guys that are essentially on rookie contracts still. And this unit is still having a lot of success. And again, I think Zable could be the best offensive lineman that the Seattle Seahawks have when we look back at this unit, maybe 1 or 2 seasons. Look at this block right here up to the linebacker Divine Diablo. Now, this is a guy who's, 6'2", 6'3", massive frame, long, lengthy experience. Has played, thousands of snaps at this point. And look at Gray Zable drive this guy 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. Let's back it up here so it's a little bit easier to see. So you see the left guard right about there. And look at him drive this linebacker as he makes contact. Look at that. Makes contact 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards off of essentially where they made contact. Gray Zable to me has so much potential and so much upside. And he's still just a rookie, right? He still has rookie moments on tape, which we will talk about. We're going to get into his pass pro here in a second. But the run blocking is truly elite, and it's allowed the Seahawks to find a lot of success. The Seahawks will have, 15, 20, 30-yard chunk plays, and it's these type of blocks right here. This play does not work without Gray Zable reaching number 93 here. The defensive tackle's lined up in a way where he's trying to two-gap this. He does not want Gray Zable to reach block him, but Zable does a really nice job doing just that. Now look at that block right there. Look at the quickness, the footwork, how he turns him towards the inside. That's absolutely incredible. This one pops for almost 25 yards. Here's another really nice play. This one's going to pop for about 6 yards. Watch the processing by him and the left tackle, and then just look at how he gets in front of this guy, and he ends up flipping his hips. And the running back does a really nice job being able to kind of find the lane. Again, only 5-6 yards on this one, but absolutely beautiful block by Zable. There's not a lot of guys that can make this block right here. The fact that Charles Cross is ultimately going to just put the right hand in this defensive lineman, and he expects his backside guard to be able to cut this off right there, that's trust by the left tackle essentially, right? And Zable, phenomenal job flipping the hips and getting to his guy right there. Really, really nice job right there. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Now, as we talk about one player being able to kind of do his job and open up explosive run lanes, here's a great example of that. 25 yards on 2nd and 4 right here. And this play pops because of Gray Zable's reach block. That's a really good job fighting number 57 and not letting 57 get back over the top. You can tell on this play that the 3 technique here is trying to fight through that block. He does not want Zable to make this reach block. He keeps both hands on Zable. He's not allowing him to get over the top. And Zable's going to just fight through it. He's going to keep fighting through it. And the running back is literally going to cut it into this gap. Yeah, the gap moves, but without that block, this play does not pick up 25 yards. I'm telling you guys, Gray Zable has a special upside. I think he's going to become one of the best interior offensive linemen in the NFL, and I'm not surprised because we saw this guy dominate at the Senior Bowl, and even back then, we kind of had a feeling that this guy could become a special offensive lineman. Of course, the Seattle Seahawks agreed, which is why they went out and drafted this guy. And his run blocking speaks for itself. All these different run plays where he's just basically cutting guys off, reach blocking, getting in front of people, moving people at the point of attack. That too, the Seahawks have one of the most explosive run games in the NFL. And I use the word explosive, not necessarily, the most rushing yards. And I say that because the Seattle Seahawks, they're a passing team essentially, right? I know they want to run the football as well, but they can generate explosive plays in multiple different ways. And they're not committed to running the football 35 times a game either, of course, right? But they are explosive, and there's a lot of really nice blocks by some of the guys up front. I do want to talk about this guy's pass pro because I think he's very, very smart. And take these examples here. So let's go ahead and just get into some of the passing that we're going to see from Gray Zable, pass pro specifically. First and foremost, when the Seattle Seahawks go to the silent count, which is what they're in right now, it's the rookie left guard that's telling that center when to go. All right, there's the tap right there. He's telling the center the quarterback's ready for the football. So that alone is kind of impressive that a rookie who, keep in mind there's a lot that's kind of going on. The Atlanta Falcons are going to blitz guys. They're going to simulate pressure. They do a lot of different things within their defense. You're telling the rookie, as opposed to on the other side, and you have Bradford, who's technically a veteran. Instead of the veteran doing it, you have the rookie telling the center when we're going to snap the football. So that, to me, right away is kind of impressive in its own right. But then the actual rep and the actual movement, the hand placement, the way these defensive linemen are trying to set this guy up and he doesn't really fall for it, to me, that's impressive. And we'll just go ahead and take this first play right here as an example. He does a great job not falling for the fake movement to the inside. Again, long 3 technique here. You're going to see number 98 fake it to the inside. But really, he's running this defensive line game. He wants 27 to come around, and he wants to go kind of into this defensive end. And it doesn't work because not only does Zable see it, he shuts it down, but he just processes it perfectly. And they're able to stop this from ultimately working and generating any sort of pressure. And in real time, it's a lot faster, right? You see it happen a lot quicker. You see the switch happen as well. That's a really good job right there by Zabel to process the defensive line game. Here's another one. And this one's probably a little bit of a better play to kind of analyze, given the fact that this is something Falcons do a lot. They're going to mix up how they're going to, blitz guys and how they're going to line guys up. The Falcons are notoriously known to run an elite defense. And I know the Seahawks dropped, I believe, 37 points yesterday against the Falcons. But this right here, you put a linebacker up on the line of scrimmage. You put 3 defensive linemen to the right. You also throw another linebacker on the line of scrimmage. You bring your safeties up. This is something the Falcons do a lot. And again, Zable has to process the defensive line game. 98 goes inside. 90 comes back around to the outside. Zable does a phenomenal job. Now, this is a bad job here by the center. To me, Olutimi has to do a better job. You got to keep the eyes up. You got to recognize when guys might run a game. Number 90 here is going to slant to the left. And 98 is going to get a free shot on Olutimi because he's just not really paying attention. That's a terrible job right there by the center. But Zable does a good job, right? He tries slowing it down as much as he can. He passes it off, and then he ends up getting back to number 90. So that's a really good job right there by Zable to take that defensive tackle and keep the quarterback clean. On this one, Sam Darnold takes off for 12 yards. So that's a really, really good job right there. You got another nice rep here by Zable. Once again, you're going to get a 3-technique defensive tackle. Fake movement to the inside. Tries coming back to the outside. Zable's not having it. Zable just straight up shuts this down, man. This is such a nice job right here. To, once again, not fall for that fake movement to the inside. The footwork here is phenomenal. Look at how Zable mirrors this defensive lineman. Keep in mind, Zable's going to quick set this to the right, and then look at him change direction and come back to the inside. That's a really nice job right there. And of course, 98 also tries going to the outside. So you're changing direction 3 different times within this one. And I think this is one of the things that Zable does do a really good job at, is movement. We see that in run blocking when he's able to reach guys. But in pass pro, that movement to mirror guys, it's definitely there on tape as well. And we're seeing this guy starting to get a little bit more comfortable. The game's slowing down for him as well. And Zable's almost starting to play mind games with some of these defensive tackles. Right? He's no longer just trying to do certain type of sets. He'll now take the fight to these guys. He'll now start attacking guys as soon as the ball gets snapped. Sometimes you might set up in like a 45-degree set. At other times, you might get right into your set, jump a guy, throw your left hand at him just to kind of keep him guessing and keep him off balance. The way you see on this one, that's a really, really good job right there by Zable. By Zable getting out of his stance super quickly here and attacking number 90, the 3-technique, the way he does, where he just goes right into this guy, that throws off number 90's pass rush. If you guys notice, number 90, he's going to almost stutter as he gets out of his stance because he's almost like confused that Zable just straight hit him right away. So he's reprocessing how he's going to pass rush. And you can see it, right? He kind of slows down as soon as he kind of gets out of his stance. Number 90 isn't 100% sure what to do. And this is part of what Zable does, right? He's a really, really smart football player. And you see that all over this guy's tape. The way this guy mentally is able to process the game, it's really impressive. And then on top of that, he has the footwork, the quickness to be able to win and even recover if he needs to. And here's a great example of that. This play right here, 28-yard touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba ends up taking it in. There's so much to kind of take out of this play. So on this one here, Zable is going to almost jump set number 90 here. It's going to be a play action in the backfield, so he's kind of going out towards number 90, referred to as a jump set. And number 90 beats this guy to the inside. So you're going to jump set, and he's going to end up getting beat to the inside. Number 90 swipes him, and he's going to bring the right arm over the top. And this is a losing rep right here for Zable. But the footwork is absolutely amazing. The quickness, the ability to recover, and he gets a little bit of help, but even if he doesn't get the help, I think he still ends up getting back over here and getting in front of number 90. This is a really good job recovering. You get beat to the inside, but you have the movement to make it up. You have the quickness, the footwork. You have, you're not going to be so off balance where other guys might be off balance here. No offense to Anthony Bradford. I think there's some things he does well. But if this is Bradford, as an example, when Zable's, leaning to the right here and a guy beats him to the inside, Bradford's not coming back to the left here. Bradford's going to end up falling over towards the right. Zable has that movement to get back over here and essentially shut it down. To me, that's a really good job right there by Zable to be able to recover within this rep. So many good things you see in pass pro from this young offensive lineman. Now, is this guy absolutely perfect? Not yet. You know, he does have to continue to develop. I think he needs to continue to add muscle, continue to get stronger. The only way guys are really beating Zable is if they're, utilizing power. If they're trying to go through this guy, if they're trying to bull rush him, and even then, it doesn't always work because Zable has a pretty good anchor. But I have seen sometimes guys are able to push him back, and then they'll utilize some sort of counter where maybe he'll lean into it a little bit too much, and then they'll be able to swim over the top. And then he gets kind of gets caught leaning forward. But that'll be the only improvements that I think Zable really needs to make. Just get a little bit stronger, play a little bit lower, continue to develop. And also keep in mind, the speed of the game is still going to have to slow down for him. Even though he does so many good things on tape, trust me, there's going to be a massive year 2 leap from Gray Zable. He's going to get better going into next season. He's going to get stronger going into next season. And I only show you guys these plays because it's just the little things he has to kind of clean up. I hope you guys enjoy this video, man. I really like some of what we're seeing from Gray Zable. The guy's one of my favorite young offensive linemen in the NFL. And the Seahawks have one of the best young overall offense lines in the NFL. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. We will continue to cover the Seahawks on this channel. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.